under a desk, there's a questionnaire for after the show and a consent form that needs to be signed because of legal things. They won't let us ask you questions otherwise. If anyone is under 18, you probably wouldn't be here anyways because we need the parent form. But I think we're all good, so we're good on that one. Please silence your cell phones because it is a small room. So we don't want any of this going off. There is no recording of the show because we are doing it on our own. And we don't want flash because it will be very dark in a moment. Also, if you are sensitive to extreme darkness or very loud sounds, probably won't leave because that's also going to happen soon. Other than that, this is a research investigation, hence the questionnaire. It's for our presidential academic showcase of myself, Chris Delia, and McKenna Myers. She's in the show, so she's not out here. Yes, we're studying the effects of theatrical lighting on theater and its importance. You'll understand in a bit. It's going to get very dark. So that's about it. That's why there's a questionnaire, because we have to write a paper about it. They'll try not to kick you, they know there are people on the floor. Cool, enjoy the show.
So, to your places. So, where's your script? I know for a fact you didn't memorize all your cues.
Excuse me, little Miss Intern. I memorized every single one of my lines, locked them in my head, and threw away the key.
Yeah? What's your line after the Wonderback commercial?
Oh, Joan, I'm frightened. Hold me.
Oh, this is a new dress.
And coffee stains never come out.
I'll take that as an apology, and that's not your line. After the Wonderback commercial, you say your "Please, mister, spare me" line. Here's your script. Don't lose it again. Where's Irvin?
It's a real howler out there tonight. He must not have come in yet.
What a great pompous idiot you'd think with all his...
Oh, Clara, get over here.
I'm 5 feet away. I need to yell.
This script is all wrong. Whoever wrote this piece of garbage combined 2 episodes into 1. Our time slot was already hacked in 2 and pushed back an hour. There's no way we're going to be able to get through our entire set and our advertisements.
Well...
See, Farley, nothing ever goes this awry in my studio in the city. We got people who cover all their bases before the show begins. We're strong, independent, and, good planners. Would you be a dear and get me some more coffee?
Mr. Mulberry, the show begins in 3 minutes. I have other duties
How did it, Clara? No need to keep the marvelous Mr. Milton Mulberry waiting. Would you like some too, Mr. Farley?
No, Estelle, I most definitely would not.
Would you have a couple for every show?
I don't want the damn coffee.
Fine. Fine.
Mr. Mulberry, Farley, whatever. Just regarding the script, cut half the dialogue, keep all the advertisements. Wait. Just call it a cliffhanger. Keep folks coming back.
Fine, I'll consider it.
Well, consider it quick. We're on in 2.
Here is your fresh cup of piping hot Peruvian blend coffee.
What a doll.
Only 5 is for you, and none for you.
Whoa, strong brew, girl. Or is it frisky?
Jiminy Christmas, Irving, watch where you're going. Walking in late, slamming into people. Oh, this was my favorite.
What is this I hear about not doing the full set?
How the hell did you hear about that? You just walked in.
Gentlemen, please, let's not let this escalate like last week. Irving, how's about I get you a nice cup of coffee?
I don't want coffee, thank you very much. I want the full set. I have the most dramatic, most impressive monologue of my entire career in that finale, and I know for a fact a highly respected talent agent from Chicago is tuning in tonight to hear me.
Look, Irving, I don't expect a man with the intelligence of a brick wall to understand the complex system of running a radio production. So, I'm going to put this in a way that you might understand. We don't have the time.
Let me say this in a way you'll understand, Raymond. Make time. I will not be treated in such an unjust manner. I am the glue that holds this show together. I play Gerald Constance for Pete's sake.
I'm the studio head, Irving. Would you stop with that stupid dancing? And bye.
Oh, cheese and crackers.
And there goes Nora, screwing everything as per usual. Just get on the side, Irving.
Nora,
I'm so sorry, Miss Croft. I was just, reaching to grab the xylophone, and then my foot got caught on the cable, and the next thing I knew, I started tripping, and then, please don't fire me! Just rip off the bandage. No need to drag on my inevitable demise. Things like this always happen when I get sent to a new job. I do something to completely ruin it. Oh, I don't want to end up in my mom's house. Not again!
calm down. You are not getting fired.
Oh, thank God.
Tonight. Just reset your props and be ready to go in too. And besides, I don't have the power to fire people. If I did, Irving would be out the back door into the rain before he could do another buffalo. So we're on into it.
What? I can't get everything ready in time.
Just improvise. You know the script well enough.
How to do, ladies and gents.
Sheriff Wilde, we're going live in moments. What do you want?
So, my patrol car up and died. And so it is raining so hard outside, there's no way heck I will make it back to the station without catching Matt dead. Mind if I say you're the only driver for a mile and a half?
Of course. It'll be interesting to have a live audience for once.
Thank you kindly. I won't make noise, I promise. Mind if I pull myself up this jump?
No! The pod has been on the fritz. Coffee's been terrible lately.
I don't care much. Coffee's coffee.
I think it's great. Kind of burns like whiskey, but good burn.
Oh, fine. Do as you please.
All right. 5, 4, 3.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to another installment of your favorite Friday night mystery show, Blackout Theatre. Because murder only happens when it's blackout. Before we get right back into our story, I'm proud to introduce our special guest for the evening, Mr. Moulton Mulberry, announcer extraordinaire from Mulberry's Monday Murderers. Please have you, Moulton.
Milton Mulberry, glad to be here.
And now a word from our sponsors.
House full of dust, wander back to mass, get wander back, it really sucks.
And now, back to our program. Last we left off, Gerald Constance and Vivian R. Vivian was tied up by the masked man in the basement of the canning factory. Gerald races to save her.
Please spare me, mister. I ain't done nothing wrong.
Gerald Constance rushes through the streets of Chicago.
Worry not, Vivian, I'll find you no matter where you are. I can hear the beating of your beautiful heart from miles away.
Back in the abandoned canning factory, the masked man turns and says to Vivian with murder in his dark eyes.
Your Gerald will never get here in time. He's a weak excuse for a man.
Pooey, you are the weak excuse for a man, you coward. Just kill me already.
Just at that moment, the masked man races to strike poor Vivian. Gerald Constance bursts through the doors.
Step away from that damsel, you wretch! Never! She's mine now!
Hey, Mulberry. Your line. He's gone and fallen asleep. Wake up, you old coot. The show's on.
She just snapped his head. Dead.
He hasn't got a pulse. Someone call the ambulance.
Whoa, whoa, hey. We're still on air here. We got a 20-minute slot to fill.
I don't care about your slot. This man is dead.
Sheriff, look at his mouth. Do you see the white foam? Does that...
The coffee! It must have been poison.
But who would have done such a thing?
You tell me. He was obviously killed by someone in this very room.
Are you saying that one of us is the killer?
Yes.
That's absurd.
That is exactly what I'm saying. And no one leaves this room until the murderer comes clean.
But the show!
I don't care about the show. You won't be shut down for this anyhow. Consider this the last hurrah of Blackout Theatre. So you all better hope that we catch the murderer in the next 20 minutes before your slot is up. So everyone grab a chair and sit down, and don't you dare think of running. Now, we can do this easy or it can get really complicated. Answer my questions and we don't have a problem. Understand?
Yeah.
Now, let's start with you, Raymond. When did you get here? What did you see?
Well, let's see. I walked in about 6 o'clock to go over my lines and brief Mr. Mulberry on the way things usually run. We talked for a quarter of an hour, and we both drank coffee then.
You both had coffee and one of you is dead?
Correct.
And you're not feeling...
Dead. No.
What was the motive for bringing Milton here tonight?
To be frank,
Who's Frank?
Blackout Theatre is failing. Has been ever since our benefactor started pulling out. I thought having a big name in the house would draw more listeners. Not that it matters now, I suppose.
Interesting. And you, Miss Clara Croft, what did your night look like? What did you see?
Well, I got here about 5:30 to set up Nora's props and plug in the equipment. But Nora's props were already set up. So I had some extra time. I sat in my car and I read a book.
Right. When did you become the assistant to the studio director?
It's assistant studio director, not assistant two. And about 4 months ago?
And you had coffee, I can tell by the stain on the dress.
Never actually got a sip. Estelle knocked it all over me. I'm more of a tea drinker anyhow.
Interesting. And you, Miss DuPont.
Estelle, please.
Miss DuPont, you have worked here for a number of years, correct? Was this the only job option that you had, or did you have others lined up?
I had a couple of job offers, but this one suited me best.
I pulled you out of a diner in Peoria without a penny to your name. What are you talking about?
It was a rough year, and before you even ask, Sheriff Wilde, I don't drink coffee. Stinky tea.
Noted. When did you get here tonight?
6:20. I had to do my vocal warm-up.
For the love of everything holy, never again.
Wait a second. You gave that cup of coffee to Mr. Mulberry, but not me. You were out to kill him.
I did, didn't I? Oh, sweet mercy, I killed him.
Okay.
I can't live it that way.
That should be enough proof, Sheriff. Arrest her.
All right, let's refrain from making accusations before we take all the statements. Don't want to arrest the wrong person, now do we? Miss DuPont, why did you give Mr. Mulberry the coffee and not Raymond?
You see, Mr. Mulberry's lead actress was moving to Hollywood to try to make it big there. I was after her spot.
Interesting. Now, you. Yeah, you. What's your name?
Nora Campbell, sir.
And when did you get here, Nora?
At about 5:25, I decided to get here early to, set up my props. But then, oh no, I realized I left my rainmaker at home. So I had to take the bus all the way home to go get it.
What bus did you take?
The 11. Harry Hughes was driving, and Mrs. Williams was knitting in the seat third from the back.
Keen eyes you've got there. And you're 100% sure you were the first person to arrive.
Definitely.
And you saw nothing suspicious at all.
No, sir. Average sort of night.
Okay, interesting. Hey, Irving. You're, soaking wet. Why?
I had to walk my wife at the car. Bridge Club. That's why I was late.
You have a wife? Who hated themselves so much to resign themselves to you?
Oh. My umbrella broke thanks to the wind.
Right, and how did you know Mr. Mulberry?
I met him a few times at a yearly radio convention. I wanted his autograph. He's a top of the biz. I actually auditioned for his show a couple years back, but he didn't want me and my prolific tap skills.
Okay. Well, none of you seem to have any incredibly adverse feelings toward the man, so why would you kill him? Hey, Raymond, where do you live?
An apartment on East Street near here. It's a little bit of a...
Complete dump!
Okay, well, when you invest all your money into starting a business, that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for niceties.
Okay. Interesting. Mr. Raymond. How long have you been doing Blackout Theatre?
Oh, I mean, about 4 years, maybe?
Huh. Interesting.
No, you can't even buy a nice suit.
You know, actually, judging by the fine suit on Mr. Mulberry here, he probably lives in a Chicago penthouse, you know, with the whole shebang, crystal chandeliers and a dry bar.
His apartment was luxurious, yes. I went there once, back when I lived in Chicago. He told me I had no talent, and my voice was shrill. Can you believe the nerve?
Look, Sheriff, that's almost up. Do you have any idea who killed this man?
Yes, I do. Based upon the statements I've taken here today, only one person was here early enough to plant the poison and was the only one to not mention drinking coffee. They also made the fatal mistake of giving much too information than necessary. Nora Campbell, you're under arrest for the murder of Milton Mulberry.
Mommy, I don't think I did that.
A murder in my own crew! I am disgusted. And I'm sure you are aware of how painful it is to die of cyanide poisoning. Sick, cruel, merciless.
Hey, Raymond, how'd you know what kind of poison was used? You better start talking quick.
You see...
I can answer that, Sheriff. This may come as a surprise to you bunch of sleaze bags, but I'm not just your assistant director. I'm an undercover CIA agent. And I've watched each of you since the moment Farley hired me. I'd heard of reports of crooked dealings going on in the radio business, and I tracked it all down to you. Blackout Theatre.
You're not really going to listen to this girl, are you, Sheriff?
Oh boy, I am. Continue, Agent.
Simmons. Elizabeth Simmons. Nice to meet you. I have been watching you dig your own grave for the past 4 months. Great! You were desperate for money from the very start. I watched you launder funds, skim off the top, rip off your own employees.
Now I've heard enough!
I saw the jealousy in your eyes whenever you heard Mulberry's name. You wanted his fame, his fortune. You were steadily rising to the top of the radio business. You just had to boot him off the throne. So you found Irving.
What? What have I got to do with all this?
You had it in. You'd met Mulberry before, and with your smarmy charm, Raymond was certain you could get Mulberry to come here. And Estelle.
Me? Heavens, no.
You could get him to stay. As bad of an actor as you are, you have a pretty face. Something Mulberry could never turn down. I checked into that diner history of yours, Miss Sweet Innocent Dupont. The owner had a sketchy history and could have easily acquired the poison that killed Mulberry. And I'm sure he did with some of your persuading. And Nora Campbell. You were the more impressionable one. Your mom told you you'd never amount to anything, so you fought and fought and fought to get a job here.
Don't you know?
It was the first one you had in more than a year. You were desperate. So desperate, you'd do anything Raymond told you to, including poison the coffee.
Fine work, Flora. I say that we book these criminals each in their own windowless cell. No radio in sight. If you'll excuse me, I have to make a few phone calls. Think you can hold down the fort?
With pleasure.
It seems we have come to the end of our program. It has been an absolute pleasure providing all of you the entertainment over the years. I hope you were equally thrilled and horrified by our stories. For the final time, this is
Irving Winslow.
Estelle DuPont. Nora Campbell.
and Raymond Farley. Farewell and good night.